Howdy everybody, we are back once again. I'm trying to decide if I want to turn the music up for me or down. Kinda want it higher because it's peaceful, it's nice, it's good vibes. So we are back working on this cozy game, and I don't know how successful this stream is gonna be because I'm suffering a major case of severe brain fog right now. But you know, we've got some stuff that we can be doing, we've got some progress to make. I'm still eager to get a loop in place this week so that we can publish a first version of this game onto the Patreon, start getting some people playing it, maybe creating some things, and yeah, hopefully be in a decent position. So reminding where we got to last time, we set up the backbone for being able to have different objects interact when you drop them onto each other. So dropping the seed onto a flower patch to have it grow a flower, having the water be able to be dropped onto a flower to water it, and things be able to interact that way. Started thinking about a base for how we're going to handle actually doing that process, like how we're going to handle flowers, that is, and what they're going to look like, which I've thought a little bit more about how to actually implement that, which I'll talk about in a minute. And we also added in support for being able to rotate the things around the place, using right click, and there was a bug with that was making it so you couldn't drag and drop stuff, which I think I've resolved now. So you can see I can drag this around, I can right click to rotate it, and I can still go ahead and drag and drop it again, which is nice. Same with my pot. I could take my seed, pop it on the pot, and it grows a flower, which is great. And then, you know, we've also got the water, which we can drop in here, and it does a little springy thing, which, let me just zoom this in a bit so it's a little easier to see. There we go, does a little boing animation. Whoops, if I could actually land on the thing. Hi Alan, how's it going? I hope you're having a good day thus far. I'm on the struggle bus, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's all that the Easter chocolate indulging has mushed my brain up. Anyway, so I have a question in mind for how I want to handle currency in this game, because obviously, you know, we want the player to be able to earn coins and spend those coins to buy things. What I'm wondering is if I have coins be a virtual currency that just exists in the UI somewhere, or if I actually have them as physical objects, because that's just satisfying. But I haven't made up my mind yet, so we'll have a think about that as we're progressing. What's the game about? This is a cozy game about planting flowers and selling them for money. I mean, it kind of, premise-wise, it feels a lot like Shepherd. I want to put things in like crossbreeding flowers and being able to have different flower traits and stuff, but it doesn't have, like, there's no consequences, there's no score, there's no, like, goal as such. It's just peaceful vibes and zen energy, because you know how I be when it comes to cozy games. I was just about to do something, but I've completely forgotten what it was that I was thinking. I do absolutely need to get on the casino roguelike train though, because I'm messing around with like card game stuff on the side at the moment anyway, for various reasons. So perhaps perhaps we make a blackjack roguelike, just Balatro but bidding instead. Yeah, I've seen that roulette one as well. It's quite interesting. But also 100% is like a Balatro, like it full on is Balatro. They saw Balatro and were like, oh yeah, let's do that, but with roulette. It's got the same like scan lines and everything for the post-processing. Right, let's figure some gubbins out. So I think, how do we want to do this? How do we want to do this? I think what we probably want to say is, well, first of all, I want to have it so that when I left click on a plant pot, not a plant pot, sorry, or maybe a plant pot. Effectively, I want a way of harvesting whatever is in the seed planting spot. I am in the seed planting spot. Fantastic. So I want some method on here that's going to be like public void harvest. And then this is maybe going to give us some money straight up. Question mark. But we'll see. No, I don't think it will. I think what we're going to do is harvest the plant that we are holding. If the plant isn't mature, just scrap it and only give seeds. If plant is mature, give seeds and the plant as a grabbable object. And that way we can have it be the case that we can have some, like a marketplace where we sell flowers from, but also make it so that you could repot plants. You know, if you grow some flowers that you like the look of and you want to put them in a specific pot, then who's to say you can't do that? But then also it's like, if you don't want to grow the plant that you were growing, you can just get some seeds back, because that should always be the case, that you get at least one seed from one plant so that you can never run out of money. You can always sell the plant to gain the seed, or to sell the plant to gain some money. Cool. So let's figure out a way by which we can have the flower be, what's the word I'm looking for? Be like trackable in terms of what maturity scale it's on, or perhaps we even don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. I mean, to be fair, something that I want to do with this one is have marketplace support, or not marketplace, workshop support for Steam. So, you know, maybe I'll leave that to the community to build that thing. Leon Codes, welcome in. How's your NeoVim template going? Have you done any more on it? Because I was very liking the look of that. Not gonna lie. Maybe convincing me to convert over to NeoVim, but it might take a bit more pushing, because I do like my VS Code, not gonna lie. Right, what I was thinking was if I could separate the flower object from like the growth progression thing, because yeah, okay, right. I'm gonna waffle for a little bit here, don't hit the microphone. With the way that I can handle flowers, I can use blend shapes in Blender. So when I make a flower model, we can set up like however many blend shapes it needs stages for growth, and then smoothly lerp between them, so we can almost animate the plant growing as it grows, and then make use of that in Unity. Just set which blend shape we want to be on with the skinned mesh. So that'll probably be that process. And we can still have it kind of be, yeah, we can still have the number of steps that it takes to grow a thing. Yeah, okay, right. Let's start adding some data. I'm gonna have a public int water cost, or growth water cost. Let's call it that. Growth water cost. That's obviously how much it costs in water to grow this plant. I think that's probably it. When we have our planting spot, let's keep track of a private int water value. Dictionary of him for Helix, nice. I don't know Helix actually. You'll have to tell me some more about that. And how does it compare as well? Like, does it have any particularly fancy features over NeoVim or VS Code that make it particularly nice? We'll have our water value. Or no, I won't have it on this one. We don't want to, or maybe we can have it on this one, and then when we harvest we just reset it. I may regret this decision later, but we'll see. So we'll set the water value to 0 when we harvest. Whenever we water it, we're watering the, we're watering the potted flower. Okay, yeah, let's not be a dum-dum. Let's go back into our flower, add a private int, not ping, int water value. We will have a public bool mature, which returns water value is equal or greater than or equal to our flower data dot, what did I call it? Growth water cost. I'm just going to copy that. Growth water cost. Let's also add a private flower data so flower data, and you know, there's probably something that we can do here in terms of like altering the water cost for a flower based on the petals, color, stem, all the rest of it that it has, how big it will grow, things like that, but we can worry about that in the future. When we water it, we want our water value to increase. I think maybe I'm going to have an integer on here for water value, or water value change. Let's do that. And then I can say water value plus equals water value change. That way, on my water drop, I can actually give this a private int, or maybe, yeah, private int water value, public int water value. Turns that. And then in my seed planting spot, I can pass in the water drop dot water value, and then we can introduce the concept of like big water drops and things that are worth maybe 3 instead of 1. Prime, hello. I'm doing good, thank you. I'm doing good. Hopefully you are well too, and having a good middle of your week. Basically NeoVim, but written in Rust. I mean, Rust feels like it's becoming a buzzword. I'm not gonna lie, I'm seeing a lot of Rust all over the place at the moment. It's quite funny. I know it's very powerful though. I am interested in kind of messing around with Rust a little bit. Fuzzy Finder theming, language server, completions, smoother running. Yeah, nice. Cool. Yeah, I might have to have a look into that then, because that sounds pretty nifty, not gonna lie. Right, I'm gonna go onto my basic water drop, which I'm gonna rename to small water and drop. Gonna give it a water value of 1. And then I mean, what I'd really like to do is add a... So we've got our water drop, right? I want to have it scale or like do some springy stuff based on its velocity so that it looks a little bit more like a water drop. Which is, you know, it's absolutely not the type of thing I should be focusing on right now, but I'm a sucker for juice and I'm gonna do it. So what I would like to do is I'm gonna create a new script called RB velocity scaler. Wait for that to compile, and I think what I can probably do, if I'm being lazy, is let's have it require component type of, come on, rigid body, and then as always we'll have a reference to that, private rigid body RB, grab a reference to it in our awake, RB equals get component rigid body blah blah. Yeah, NeoVim is cool because it's, I mean, you know, it's better than just baseline Vim in terms of user friendliness, I think. I still don't think it's particularly like a beginner friendly IDE, but certainly for people who are like big Linux people, and enjoy that flexibility and customization, I think it probably has a little bit more customization than something like VS Code. Although, you know, custom theming and stuff in VS Code is particularly nice. So, I don't know. Let's have a private float, and I think this is going to be scale influence. And this is going to be, I'm going to range it whoops, between 0 and like 0.75, and this is effectively going to be how much we change the scale by based on the velocity of the thing. And I'm now thinking terribly, like, oh gosh, what have I gotten myself into? This is actually probably going to be quite difficult. I guess what I want to do is I want to get the change in velocity from the previous fixed update and use that as what I base my scale on. Is that what I want to do? No, what am I doing? What am I doing? We can do this with the spring controller, I think. We're going to try it with the spring controller. So if I have a private scale spring controller scale from Superdog Studios, Core Utils, Animation, spring controller, and we'll say if we can just have the value of this be whatever the velocity of the water drop is. So rather than fixed update, actually, let's just do it in update. Let's say spring controller.set target spring position to rb.velocity dot magnitude. Something like that. I have no idea if this is actually going to work. Spring controller equals get component spring controller scale, like so. And my reasoning behind this, I still want to make sure I rotate it to look in the direction that we're moving actually. So let's do this. Transform dot rotation equals quaternion dot, is it look rotation? Forward upwards, so it's going to be rb dot velocity dot forward. I can't do that, can I? I suppose the forward is the velocity normalized, and then transform dot up. Go with that. Should be accurate, I think. Is that functioning? Brain, do tell me. I think it should be. And then what we can do on our water drop, small water drop, let's go ahead and plonk our... I mean, we need to make sure it also is requiring a component type of spring controller scale. And actually, I'm going to give it a transform graphics target, and we're going to use that as the thing that we're messing around with, rather than the parent object itself, so that we don't scale the collider, which means we're going to have to restructure our object a little bit. Right, how do we do this? Create an empty is going to be graphics. Gonna put this duplicate small water drop under there. Is this game going to be fun? Will people actually want to play it? Who's the target audience? It will be fun to people who enjoy cozy games. Think Islands and Trains, Townscaper. There's definitely a market for people who want a game that doesn't have a goal. I'm not particularly fussed about the like the intricacies per se, or the like. I don't want to please everyone. That's what I'm trying to say. I am happy in my bubble of I want to make a cozy experience that I would enjoy, and you know, I know from other games in the genre, again, Townscaper, The Block, what other ones, Islands and Trains, kinda Islanders, but that does have more of a goal and some deeper overarching progression, even though this game will have progression in itself. But yeah, there's an audience for it for sure. Iron Bites, hello. Nice to see you, and I hope you enjoy your first time here. I am working on a new little game that I want to make at speed in a month, to be precise. Don't know what it's called yet, but it's a cozy flower growing game where you grow flowers and sell them, and then use that money to buy decorations and things. Should be nice and comfy cozy. Cool. Right, let me put my rigid body scaler onto this water drop, and I'm going to set the max scale vector to what do I want? I want the forward to be, yeah, and the up. So I want it to be on the Z axis 1.5, and then on the Y and the X 0.5 and 0.5. And then the minimum scale vector can be 1, 1, 1. I think that should be all right. Thanks. Yeah, it should be okay. It should be okay. I'm thinking on the basis of, like, technically speaking, as in mechanics wise and back-end code wise, there isn't that much to it. Just jinxed myself for sure. But, like, theoretically there isn't that much to it. It should be relatively straightforward to get all the underlying code. Most of it is just content. So the plan is basically this week, because we started last Thursday or Friday. No, it would have been Thursday, maybe Wednesday, sometime last week. We started out, and then this week I want to have effectively the core loop done, or the core features done, because then I can put it up on the Patreon for people to start playtesting, and actually get some feedback on the vibes. I've got an idea for what I want the art style to be like as well, which is fun. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, it should be good. It should be good. Right, I think that should be it for getting the water drops to kind of boing around the place. Let's see if this actually works. I don't fancy my chances particularly, but we might be in luck. That's not quite right, is it? That's yeah, that's not quite right. I also forget that we're not actually changing the velocity of the rigid body. We're oh gosh, I'm gonna have to calculate the velocity myself. That's fine. Private vector 3 velocity What is velocity? Velocity is speed in a direction. You know what? We're going to pretend that velocity is... velocity equals transform dot position minus velocity. Really, that's change in position. I'm not planning on buying the art. I'm planning on making the art myself, or at least in some capacity making the art myself, because art style wise, I really want to make a painterly shader for it so that everything's got this nice kind of faux painted art style, which that is based off of a really good video by... Let me check my phone because I was watching it earlier, and that was what, and I was like, oh yeah, actually that sounds good. Cody Gindi, which I'll grab a link for it in a minute and pin it to chat, but it's a really, really good video about easily making a 3D painterly aesthetic, and the shader is super simple because it just uses normal maps. So we'll make like a basic shader graph probably next week realistically, but that'll hopefully bring a little bit of character and some more unique aesthetic to the look of the game. Most basic formula for calculating velocity is distance over time. Great, so I can say velocity equals... Actually, I can have var velocity. We'll have a cache for position last frame. Position last frame divided by delta time. I think that's right, isn't it? Velocity is distance over time. Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Speed is distance over time. So yeah, distance that we've gone, aka change in position, divided by change in time, gives us the velocity, and then we use that velocity normalized to get our rotation, and likewise use that velocity normalized to get the target position for the spring. Now, what have I done with my spring controller? Because something is not how it should be. I think I've probably added the wrong, or I've set the graphics scale. Graphics scale is 1. We are changing the graphics transform. Does the small water drop have a spring controller? No, it doesn't. Yeah, everything is in order. Scale to 1, this is scaled underneath it. We are scaling the graphics transform. So it shouldn't be going massive. I'm not sure what the deal is there. Way. So, oh Lord. Let's do that real quick. Yep, yeah, I feel that. I feel that. It's one of my worst habits when making game projects, is focusing too hard on the aesthetic right at the start and not actually getting the code and everything sorted out properly. So I get this really nice looking half-baked mess, which yeah, just doesn't work out at all. Okay, so we have a problem in that our value for our spring controller is always greater than 1, but even so, what's going on with our... So our graphics are 0.5. Why is our small... What's going on here? What is going on here? Oh, wait, it's kind of... Is it doing the thing? It's doing the thing? Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Let me... Let's fix this, shall we? Water drop. We want to remove the mesh data from this parent object. Okay, now we should have something a little bit more in line with what we're looking for. It still won't be quite right, because our spring position is still kind of getting set a little bit weird, and I think that's probably because our velocity is ending up that's quite funny. That is quite funny. So, I'm actually going to have this be... Creates rotation with the specified forward. So yeah, the forward. I want the forward to be in the direction of velocity. And let's just have the up be... Oh, well, it's going to be... The up should be the tangent. How do I get the tangent of a vector? Oh, find the derivative. Screw it, Unity, because someone might just have... How do I find the tangent for the given normal? Yes, please. Get a tangent from a normal. Can use the cross product with a union vector. So if I have the normal, i.e. the direction that that vector is pointing in, then the tangent is cross of the normal with forward and with up. Yoink. We're going to need to move that below this line because we know our normal is going to be velocity dot normalized. So that gives us the normal vector in the basically the vector in the direction of movement, and then that's all fine. We want the up to be our tangent, and then the spring position we do want to be our velocity. So let's debug.log velocity.magnitude, because it should, if we've not moved, it should be 0. I'm going to just get rid of some other debug.logs as well, which I think we've got in here for watering plant and also on our grabbable object. I was doing some tests earlier to see if everything was behaving properly. Oops. This is not what I should be spending my time doing. But hey ho, we move, we move. Okay, not quite, not quite. Is it just pointing towards the center? I think it's just pointing towards the center. Oh, it's because I'm never updating. Let's make sure we do that, shall we? We want to say at the end of this, position last frame equals transform dot position. And let's also make sure we do that in our start method as well. So that we've got a default before we run this first update. Oh my gosh, can't believe it. We don't need the rigid body anymore because we're not messing with rigid bodies. I mean, it does need a rigid body because that's how we're doing the grabbable component, but no matter. So now we should theoretically have this splodgy feeling thing. Let's find out. Boing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It kind of works. That's so cool. So cool. Look at that. Oh my god. Look at it. I mean, it's not quite... It's not quite it, because it just turns into a weird looking, like, blob. But that is so cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think what we do is we maybe make it a little bit more subtle. Let's just go ahead. I'm going to set the scaling to 0.75, 0.75, and 0.25 for that. I want to actually have this rotation lerp. Quaternion.slurp. Save that effect. If I actually wanted to implement that, you'd probably be at a loss. I mean, it's pretty much bang on what I was looking for. No word of a lie. I am pretty chuffed with that. Let's have some rotation speed times time dot delta time. Let's go ahead and make a property for that. I'm going to serialize that field. Cool. And then, yeah, that gives us some smoothing. And then I want to actually take this, if we imagine this having 1, 1 as the middle point, my brain is trying to figure out how we end up with a middle point of if it's linear on all the axes. I mean, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yes, that is correct. So then, rather than having just a clamp between 0 and 1, we're going to subtract 0.5. Is that what I want to do? Magnitude plus 0.5. Yes, yes. So that when it's at rest, it's in the middle point. If it's slowed down, or if it's moving in a different direction, if it's changed direction. I guess we probably don't want to be using the velocity. We actually want to be using the acceleration so that we can make it smoother. But you know what? I'm not gonna faff. it's good enough for now. We can add some particle effects and some trail renderer, and it will look pretty nice. I need to actually set a value for our rotation speed. I'm going to do like 250. Boom. Come here. I mean, it's still kind of... It's not perfectly... Not perfectly smooth yet. But... I mean, the main issue is that the... my brain is not working. The velocity, or the calculated velocity that we've got is always higher than 1. We ideally need to do like an inverse lerp or something to get a value between 0 and 1. But that will do me for now. Why not use DoTween? Because I didn't think of it. I did not think of it at all. And also, I'm not actually sure how I would do it with DoTween either, if I'm honest. Because it would still be... I'd still have to figure out some different implementation for it. And to be fair, this feels kind of nice, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, it feels pretty nice. Look at them go. I mean, that's just satisfying. They feel enough like little water droplets that I can be happy with it. What I might do is up the frequency to like 45 and have the damping at 0.2. Yeah, it's not so much the scaling of the object itself that's the issue, it's getting what the scale needs to be based on how far it's moving or how fast it's moving. Hold on. Am I... I'm setting the target spring position fine. That's cool. That's cool. Do I want to... Maybe I don't actually want to clamp it, but I have a feeling this is going to end up being kind of screwy if I do it different. Thank you very much. To be honest, I need to stop messing with it because it's... I need to actually make some gameplay here instead of just tasty feeling water droplets. Although we've only been going for like effectively 45-50 minutes, so that's okay. I'm gonna drop everything like super low down as far as the frequency and the damping on the spring controller goes, because that way we should get some more kind of pinging backwards and forwards as we go over top. I don't remember if actually I clamped the spring value in the controller. I clearly did not, because look at that. It gets massive. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The rotation when it's falling is also kinda messed. Okay, so I definitely need to do some clamping, because if you move it super fast, it gets massive. And we definitely don't want that. Yeah, it's gonna have to be a... I have a feeling there's another cat outside, and my man Nacho, our cat, might be... You might be interested. Oh, right, yeah, so I need to take this velocity, and I need to grab a value between 0 and 1 for whatever that, like, so that velocity. I think probably what we do is just make ourselves an animation curve and evaluate that. So let's do a serialized field, private animation curve, and this can be our spring scaling curve. Is that actually what I want to do? Is that actually what I want to do? It's not really. It's not. I do want to just do some... I mean, it kind of is. It kind of is. Instead, let's do a private float max velocity magnitude. And yeah, really, I want to be using acceleration, not velocity. Change in velocity over the change in time. Cool. So, oh dear. Private vector 3 velocity last frame. So we can get the velocity from our transformed opposition divided by the change in time, and then we're going to say var acceleration equals velocity last frame No, it's going to be our new velocity. Velocity minus the velocity last frame. And we divide that by time dot delta time. And then let's do a var. Actually, you know what? We can do this down here. We'll just do float dot inverse or mathf dot inverse lerp, and we want between 0 and 1. No, we want between like negative 5,000 and 5,000, I guess. Let's do that. Maybe 500. I don't think we're going to get higher than 500. Oof, he says. Look at that. We're getting like... Oh no, we're not going over 1 by too much. We are just going over... going up to like 5. So maybe let's do 5. And we want to pass in the value of our acceleration dot magnitude, and then we add 0.5 to that to set our spring position. So yeah, theoretically we end up at 0. We should get a squish. Nice, nice. And then again, we're going to use the acceleration direction as the rotation. Actually no, I want to use the velocity for the rotation. Yeah, velocity is the normal. So actually, you know what? Let's just use normal, which is already normalized. And then tangent dot normalized as well. And then we can start actually doing some gameplay stuff. Rotation speed, I'm going to reduce it to 75, just so it's a little bit slower to turn. Not quite, not quite. Not quite. I do use velocity.magnitude. I think probably it's because we're not actually ending up halfway between in like a sensible sense, if that makes sense. In which case, maybe we just scale the Y or the Z axis even, and don't make it smaller on X and Y. We'll just keep those at 1 all the time. Bang. Yeah, I think that's going to be exactly what we do. I think we probably also want to make sure that we don't change the rotation unless it's moving. And I also really want to figure out what the deal is with this this rotating. This is nice though. I mean, you can see, I mean, hopefully you can see the scaling of the blob is a lot smoother. Let's do a test here. If I set the minimum to 0.5 and then 1.5, halfway between that is 111, surely. Apparently not, it seems. I want to know what values we end up with here. Yep, gives us a float back. Good, good, good. I want to make sure that I'm definitely not changing transform.rotation anywhere as well. Yeah, we're using transform position. There's transform rotation. That should be graphics target.rotation. That'll probably fix our rotation issue that we got going on. And then let's see what's cracking. Nice. Oh, that's so working. Let me look at this. Look at this. Like, look at that. Look at that. That's just delightful. That is amazing. Can we put our thing back in place? I guess that should be 1.25 because that's a net change of 0.5, and that should be 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. Oh my gosh, yes. Amazing. There we go. And I can drop that. I missed. Let's plant our seed that we've got here. Boing. There's a plant. Look at that. That is so satisfying. Oh, I love it. I love it. Right, okay. One last thing that I want to check. If I switch this back to acceleration, I'm going to delete this debug.log now because we don't need it anymore. And then, yeah, I want the change, yeah, the change in velocity. Yes, good. Oh, it looks so satisfying. This is actually really nice. Oh, that's fantastic. Your boy is chuffed to bits with that vibe. Come on. Come on. Boing. Because what I would like to happen is that yeah. 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 Oh, and as it falls, oh, that's so good. That's so good. That's so good. Oh, I mean, I'm just enjoying playing around with that. It's so satisfying. Boop. Oh, that was almost perfect. Go on. Yeah. Oh, go on. I mean, that's quite fun to try and do as well. Is just get the water drops to land in the plant pot, or hope that they would anyway. Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. So we've got some nice juicy water drops now. There. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Right. So the next thing I want to do. First of all, let's get the flower that we plant to actually be matching the rotation of our thingamajig. Whoops. Transform dot rotation our pot. That's what I was aiming for. And then we can worry about handling this harvesting stuff right after I go ahead on our grabbable object. And what we actually want to do, rather than just getting the ground position, we actually want to get the position of our like whatever the thing is above. So we're going to do a if physics dot. Oh yeah, let's do var ground offset or drag offset equals this. And then we can just set it directly to our drag offset. And we'll say if physics dot box cast, and we're going to go from can I do transform dot bounds? No, I have to use the collider. No worries, Iron Bites. Thanks for stopping by. I am streaming every day for the foreseeable future, so I'll be here tomorrow and the next day and the next day. The only exception is bank holidays, which that meant it was shorter on Easter, and there's another bank holiday at the start of May, but you know, that's ages away. So unless something were to happen that causes us to get another bank holiday in the UK, I will be streaming at similar sort of time, somewhere between sort of 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. GMT. Best way to keep aware of when streams are happening is join the Discord server. There's a link down in the description for that. But I hope you enjoyed and hope to see you again very soon. Very soon indeed. Right, let's do... I don't really like the idea of this. I think I probably want to cache, have a private collider, drag collider, because it makes sense that we have to have a collider on this thing. And that way we can do collider equals get component type of collider. And then we can box cast from collider dot bounds. Oops. Drag collider dot bounds dot y. Or is it min? I can't do bottom, can I? I have to be center. There we go. Vector 3 dot up times that divided by 2, and then we want the half extents. Now here's where I get confused. Do we actually want half extents or do we want extents? Drag collider dot bounds dot extents. Half the size of the bounds. I think that's probably what we want. Direction is going to be vector 2 dot down. Vector 3 dot down, sorry. So then we can say drag offset dot, or drag offset plus equals vector. Wait. No. Ground position equals hit dot point. There we go. I think that should do it. So now we should see that our pot gets lifted above our bucket, and I think actually we probably want to extend these bounds just a little bit. Like 0.1. Maybe like 1.05, so we get just a little bit extra around the edge. That feels sensible, I think. Got about 45 minutes left before I need to wrap up. So we're going to try and actually do something of value in that time. Not just arbitrary DOSing. It's like the best form of procrastination is early polishing. That just doesn't need doing. Well. Okay, so immediately we've got some break, and I think the issue is that we are we actually want to add hit.point.y to our ground position. Rather than setting it to the position straight up. jeez. Cool. Cool. You don't look like you're doing your thing. This definitely is. You definitely aren't. And the seed? The seed is working. It's just the plant pot. Why is the plant pot janky? I mean, that's good though. It's working perfectly in that respect. That's gonna irk me though. Why can't I figure out the plant pot? I wonder if yeah, moving it over the seed does move it up a little bit as well. That's quite funny. But that's really annoying that the plant pot doesn't work. Why? Maybe it could be because it's actually just box casting too low. Because the thing is, because it's below the thing anyway, like height wise. I bet you if I was to create, yeah, if I move this over the top of the seed, it does lift up a little bit. And if I was to create a cube in the scene here, yeah, we're absolutely fine. So it is just because it's a little bit too tall for the plant pot. So alternatively, I don't know, I guess. Now my bucket isn't working. Huh. That is interesting. I imagine what's probably the case is that we're probably actually just shooting from too far down. Maybe I can just go from the center. What I imagine is going to happen though is we're going to end up hitting the thing itself, which I don't particularly want to do. We could change to a box cast all and then iterate over everything, but that's just way less efficient. So I don't really want to do that either. Thank you. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Everything is coming together slowly but surely. I might just mess around with art tomorrow instead of game looping. I really should be game looping though. I'm just a sod. Okay, no, that doesn't fix the problem. Let me create my cube again. Amazing. Can plot my plant pot on top of there. My bucket is also responding. Lovely. If I put my plant top on top. Plant pot on top even. It's not quite working. So I think probably the best course of action is going to be to just make this make the object a fair bit, or make the box cast a fair bit taller. I can't drag that, of course. Let's maybe add a little bit more percentage on the thing, and I wonder, can we... Box cast, Unity, ignore, self. Disable the collider. Oh. That could be nice. Query start in collider. I wonder. Is this still music from Jusant? It is. Make sure my sound is still like a decent volume compared to the music, which I think it is, judging by the colors of my gubbins, my meters. Is it only in physics 2D? Oh, can I not get it in 3D too? That's a little bit of a pain, not gonna lie. Although, you know, let's test it, see what it does. And what I'm expecting is that it's gonna just whoop up into the air. When I pick it up, it's gonna fly away. Oh no, we're good. There we go, that solved my problem. So it's not colliding with itself. Handy dandy. Grab my seed. Boink, in it goes. There's my plant. Get me some water. Yeah, the water still... Oh, and the velocity animation looks so good. Like, so good. That's amazing. Oh, it looks so good. I need to stop. It feels so satisfying to doss around with, though. Like, look at it. Plop. Oh my gosh. Oh, love it. It's amazing. Okay, right. We have stuff. We have stuff. It's great. What I would like to think about is, I mean, we can start ticking some stuff off here now, actually. So our basic click and drag system is done. I think strike through is 2 dashes. Is it? In Markdown? least I thought it was. Is it 3 dashes? No, that's just a divider. Not what I want. But good to know. Gonna have to Google it, aren't I? You go desktop 4, you come here like this. Strike through Markdown. Tildes. Or tildes. I don't actually know. There we go. System for saving the world. That's not done yet. We're going to have to think about that. Perhaps we consider that. I mean, we'll probably consider that next week. I don't think I want to worry about it right now. System for getting water, check. System for placing water onto plants, check. System for selling plants for money. That's what we need to do next. And the seed shop. And then we are technically feature complete. Which is quite nice. There will be some other stuff that we do, like we can add some, or well, we'll get to automation, but the stuff that we've got in here is everything that I want for the first version, like the Patreon version. So what did I just say we need to do? Selling plants for... What the... Bruh. Markdown, please. Can I get some strike-throughs going? Is that acceptable? There we go. So, selling plants for money. We probably need a game manager at this point. Manager. Which, of course, is going to be a singleton. Not a persistent singleton, though, just a singleton. And this will be the thing that keeps track of our money that we've got, and probably also some unlocked things, or lets us get access to some unlocked things. So let's do the basic singleton setup. We're going to have a private static game manager s underscore instance, and then a public static game manager instance, which will have a get, which will say if s instance is equal to null, s instance equals new game object, and we'll give it the name game manager dot add component game manager. And then we return our S instance. Whoops. In awake, S instance equals this. Simple. So I would like a public int currency which will have get private set. We'll have a public void change currency int change currency plus equals change currency equals, we can just do this all in one line actually. Currency equals mathf dot clamp 0 int dot max value. No. There we go. And then currency plus change. And then let's maybe also have an event. So we'll have a public static event let's not make it static. Public event, Unity, or maybe just a normal action. Which has an int change. I can't name things in an action, can I? I want a delegate. Public delegate action int. No. Public delegate void int change. Previous and change. And we'll call this currency change or value change delegate. There we go. And then we can have a public event value change delegate on currency changed, and then say on currency changed dot invoke whoop, cache our old value, and then invoke with previous currency and the change. Because then we can use that in our UI rather than reading directly from the game manager. Just have it listen. And it means also if we're going to do any changes in the currency, we're always going to just change them through this method. So, I mean, yes, no, I do want to do that because we want to be deliberate. So let's give ourselves a serialized field, private void start, not void, sorry. Siri just started up. I swear I don't even have that enabled. Anyway, private int starting currency, which I'll just default to like, I don't know, 50. I don't really know what the scale of currency is going to be yet, so that's fine. We'll probably give ourselves some cheat console anyway that can fire off some listeners. So in start, we can change currency by our starting currency. Very nice, very nice. I don't know what font I'm going to even use for this game, actually. I haven't even thought about that element of things. But let's go ahead and create ourselves some UI. Import our text mesh pro essentials. Oh my gosh, can't even speak. I think I'll import the examples and extras as well. We'll delete the examples, but we'll keep the extras because there's like nice extra stuff in there that's probably pretty handy. Nice. This is going to be my, first of all, on the canvas, screen space overlay. It's going to be scale with screen size. Our reference is going to be 1920 by 1080. And we're going to match height, pixels per unit, 512. No, not 5212, 512. Let's remove the normal and tangent. Bro, get rid of tangent, please. Whoops. I don't want normal or tangent. And yet it won't let me get rid of them. There we go. There we go. Cool. Let's anchor this text to the bottom. I'm going to have it be centered. Oh my gosh, what is going on? We want it to be quite dark. Let's go with... Oh my gosh, look at all these fonts. Open Sans is what we want. Open Sans regular. And this is going to have a width and height of 0 and 0. We are going to enable overflow, disable wrapping. Voice is going. Position Y I'm going to set 250. Bruh, stop. And yeah, we'll literally just say like money, like that. And let's give ourselves a script for this as well. I'm gonna have to make some folders in my script soon, start organizing. So this is gonna be our money display, and this is gonna be a temporary component. I'll eventually switch everything over to my UI utils, which I've got as a part of my Shiba Core utils library. You know what? We could probably start working from there straight away, actually. Have I included... I haven't included the UI in there. Brr. I have included the save system, though. Handy. Handy, handy, handy. Right. That's just money display. We are going to have a serialized field, private text mesh pro u GUI. Make sure we import the package, money display text, and then we're going to have a private void update money display. Just going to take an int previous int change. We could almost even have this as a coroutine, to be fair, and do things anonymously, but for the time being we're going to say money display text.text equals string interpolation money, and then let's just use a $sign, shall we? And then we can say previous plus change. Nice and simple. Then in our on enable, probably not on enable, probably in awake, let's say game manager dot instance dot on currency changed plus equals update money display, and on destroy we'll unsubscribe from that event. Cool. I've changed my mind. I actually want it to be in the bottom left, or maybe in the top left corner of the screen for the time being, at least. I'm gonna have to think a little bit about how I want to do UI in this game soon, I imagine. But for purposes, let's just do this. There we go. So I think as well, because even though we haven't got a game manager in the scene, if I hit play, it should make us one, and we shouldn't end up with any errors because we're making reference to the instance and I've put in some lazy instantiation. So we should end up with 50 being shown. And yet we don't. Do we have a game manager in the scene? We do not. Does that mean that my... Oh, I haven't put the money display on the text, have I? Duh. Let's do that. Money display. Bang. Save. Hit play. Yeah, there we go, $50. Everything is still functioning nicely. We can click our water and it's still looking awesome. Wink. Oh, that's so good. We'll have to just, there's one little change that we need to make in there that is making sure, what's my brain trying to say? Making sure that if the rotation angle is 0, we don't do our rotation. So let me update that real quick. I believe it's some objects were not cleaned when closing the scene. Did you spawn new game objects from on destroy? Yes, I did. I need to, that'll be from this on destroy. The game manager is getting destroyed first. So I wonder, can I do like an on currency change dot remove all listeners? No, I can't. That's fine. That's fine. I'm probably going to have to think about that though, because we definitely don't want to be creating game objects after they should be destroyed. That's not ideal. Anyway, what was I doing? Quaternion.look rotation in my velocity scaler. If velocity, no, acceleration is not equal to vector 2, 3.0, then we can do this. And actually I do want to use the normal. If normal is not equal to vector 2.0, same with the tangent for that matter, although I think we'll just do it. We'll just do it. Oh dear, every time, literally. Go back and watch any of my streams from the past week. And it's like, every single one I'm yawning, it's terrible. I'm gonna need to come up for with a name for this game as well. I might start a petition for it in the Discord server, so make sure you hop on over in there if you're not already. Boop. Yeah, there we go. No issues. But everything is rotating as it should be. And we still get our nice scaling. Oh, it's so satisfying. It is so satisfying. Like, come on. Come on. It's the fact that like when you're moving over the top of an object as well, it does like the whole, it's like it bounces over the top of it. It's really just, oh yeah, love it. I'm so proud of that. Boop. All right. I'm going to have public int cell value on my flower. We are going to add a public void set flower data, which takes in a flower data so flower data equals flower data on our seed. So that on our flower object we can go over onto this, and we want to be able to set the flower data on this too, actually, don't we? So let's maybe have a so maybe just have it public for the time being. And the question is, how do I want to separate how do I want to separate all of the aspects? Do I want to instantiate a new flower object? The answer is no, not particularly. I definitely want to just reuse the one that's in the pot. So what I might do is add a public bool. We'll add some booleans to our drag object for if dragging is enabled. So let's have a public private bool drag enabled, public bool, oh my gosh, drag enabled. I suppose I don't need to check it actually. I can just have a void, public void set drag enabled bool enabled. And let's have a serialized field private bool drag enabled on start up. And then I can use that as a check here for if we start dragging, but we can also say if drag is not enabled, I want my rigid body dot is kinematic to be equal to not that. So that way on my flower, we can have a reference to a grabbable object, drag controller. Actually, I don't think we even need to do that because we're not concerned about doing it in here. It'll be on our seed planting spot. When we plant the flower, we're going to say potted flower dot get component grabbable object dot set drag enabled false. And I think actually we don't even need to do that because that was the whole point of me setting the drag enabled by default, which I would like to be true. By default. Whoop. Drag enabled on startup equals true. save, so that I don't have to go through and set it on all of my draggable objects. And then when we harvest, whatever we do, we're going to get the flower to drop some seeds. And I think we can probably do that in the flower data as well. Let's have a public void mature seed drop count. Whoops. And public, not void, int, gosh, int immature seed drop count. And then on the planting spot, I want to give seeds. If the plant isn't mature, scrap it. If the plant is mature, give the plant as a grabbable object. So int seed count equals flower dot, not flower, potted flower dot flower data dot I guess I could do potted flower dot get harvest seed count. Let's do that. And that way, come on. Public int get harvest seed count. Return mature. Flower data dot mature seed drop count. Flower data dot immature seed drop count. Cool. And in fact, we can do this as a one-liner. So that gets us our seed count, and then for in I equals 0, I is less than seed count, I plus plus. Var seed is going to equal instantiate seed prefab, serialized field, private seed prefab. And we're going to do this at the flower position transform dot position quaternion dot identity. Say seed dot set flower data potted flower dot flower data. And then I'm going to steal the force logic that we've got over here from our bucket, put it on our seeds. Vector 3 seed spawn force. Let's use the rename function, shall we? Seed spawn force equals that. Okay, fair. Make ourselves a flute for that. It's going to be a serialized field. And then we're going to say seed dot get component RB rigid body. I'm getting too in a flow with it, I tell you. Dot add force, seed force. Okay, cool. That's fine. What am I doing? Seed planting spot. So then we want to go down here and we want to say if potted flower dot mature, make the plant grabbable, else, whoops, we're going to destroy potted plant dot game object and set our potted flower equal to null. So to make the plant grabbable, we're going to say potted flower dot get component grabbable object dot set drag enabled true, and then I'm gonna copy paste this again, except instead of seed spawn force it's going to be flower spawn force, and we're going to do it on potted flower. I think I've just finished the end of my music, but that's fine actually, because we're coming up to where we're going to have to end up this live stream. So actually, you know what, if this works, we'll wrap up the live stream there. I think something that we're going to run into is I want to just do on my flower, I want to say if let's add a serialized field private game object flower head on awake. I'm going to say flower not on awake, sorry, in start. Let's do it. Flower head dot set active false, can't spell, false, and then we'll say if water value is greater, oh well, we'll check mature. If mature, flower head dot set active bang. So now we'll know if the flower is watered or not. I think I'll give it a water cost of 3, immature seed drop of 1, and a mature seed drop of 2. And I think probably what we could do is also have like a concept of compost, and maybe compost reduces hold on, need to fix this. On start, I want to set drag enabled on startup. Cool. We'll probably also want to give this a cell value so that we can see that everything's working properly. And I think what we'll actually end up having is like something that looks like a market stall or something like that, where you drop the thing that you want to sell into that market stall. Give it a sell value of 10, 3 for the growth water cost, drops 1 seed if it's immature and 3 seeds if it's mature. Let's go ahead onto my prefabs and my test flower. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this main cube, and I'm going to turn this into a sunflower. Let's make it 0.25 on Z. Maybe 0.125 on X. I'm going to rotate it a little bit. Like this. Duplicate again. Scale down. Pull forwards. This is where I realize I'm building this entire flower backwards. Oh dear. I'm going to use the dirt for the center. I'm going to duplicate the dirt for the petals. Let's make that a nice, bright, kind of orangey yellow. We want it to be nice and vibrant, so it looks like a sunflower. Because at the moment it doesn't. It looks very dull. But that's partially because of the lighting. Like if I take this and drag it out here, it's going to look a lot nicer. Oh, look at that. That's quite cute, actually. Anyway, we need to also make sure that we set that up. Let's create an empty flower head. And I believe it's cube 3 and cube 4. We're going to put those underneath the flower head. We're going to set the test flowers flower head to the flower head. I'm also going to set the flower data there so that it's not null, but that reminds me that actually we also need to go into the flower itself when we plant the seed. We want to say potted flower, not Potter, not Malfoy, potted flower dot flower data equals seed dot flower data. Like so. And then we should be in business. Everything should be working as we want it to be. Hit that play button. And then with that, tomorrow we will absolutely set up buying and selling seeds, because that does complete the loop, and maybe we can add like a few different types of flowers, and a way of buying pots as well, for me to then ship this on Patreon at the end of the week. Oh. Oh, I see what's happening. I need these all to be draggable on startup. Draggable on startup, draggable on startup. I want to make sure I apply that as well. Okay, now we should be in business. Good. Can drag the plant pot. Let's plant our flower. But no reference exception on line 18. Grabbable object. Yes, of course. Test flower. We need to give it a collider, first of all, of the box variety, which I'm going to have be probably like 0.75 tall. Oh, not even 0.5 maybe? Yeah, that's acceptable. And then like 0.25 on X and Y. We are going to add the grabbable object. Really, I should just make these static. Ground drag offset 0.75. Drag follow time 0.125. I think I definitely will make them static so that it's consistent between everything. Now we should be good. We should be good now. Oh, wait, no, I've forgotten something else. We need to add our seed prefab to the what's-a-majignet, the pot. We also need to give it some force. Because at the moment it's not going to go flying anywhere. So let's go onto our basic pot. We are going to go onto the dirt. I'm going to drop in the seed prefab and the element force multiplier. I'm going to set to like 5. I think that's probably going to be a little high. I don't know what we set it to on the bucket. Bucket. 2.5. Maybe 5's okay then. Potentially a little bit explosive, but we'll see. I don't think I put any damping on my seeds, so they're just going to go flying, which will be quite funny. Let's have a look. So if I plant this seed here, great. I haven't actually set up any way to harvest this. Let's do that, shall we? So on my plant pot, I think I probably want the eye pointer click handler. No, I don't want it on there. I definitely want it on the seed planting spot. Whoops. Because we might have multiple. And then we'll say if event data.button is not equal to input button.left, we return. If potted flower is equal to null, we return. Otherwise, let's harvest. And that should be us good to go at that point. Whoop, chair sliding in the wrong direction. I'm just going to have to make sure that I stick a some rotation constraints on the flower. Probably end up making it a rotatable object in its own right, to be fair. Yeah, that sounds like a decent plan. Okay, plant the seed. There it is. Oh, come on. Everything is defaulted to not being draggable on startup, which is very annoying. Come on. Oh, feel ready for a nap. Pot, seed, bang. Click. Hey, look at that. It didn't destroy the flower though. I think one of the seeds got planted. That would make a lot of sense. Yeah, look at it go. Look at it go. I'm getting infinite seeds. I mean, if I... Let's water this guy. And see if watering works. I'm not going to be able to water it because it's got a collider on top of it now, am I? Bruh. Just over the pot. Come on. There's one. There's two. Just need one more. Hey, look at that. It flowered. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is amazing. It's gonna be so much fun. Problem is, it's still a child of the flower pot, hence it getting really skewed scale as it rotates. But that is that's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, that's actually so funny. That's brilliant. Look at it. Okay. Let me... I'm way too deep in this. Let's add a rotatable object even. I want to, on my grabbable object, I think we probably also disable the collider. Drag collider dot enabled equals enabled. And then it's just figuring out how to stop the seeds from... I mean, I guess we just spawn them slightly high, right? At least for the time being, let's do that. Let's plus vector 3 dot up multiplied by like 0.25. So they spawn a little bit high up, and then we should theoretically minimize our chances of it just instantly replanting seeds. And we also want to make sure, because at the moment the flower seems to be just returning mature, or returning the mature value instead of the immature seed dropped. Yeah, get harvest count if mature, if otherwise immature. Mature is equal to water value is greater than or equal to growth water cost. In our test flower, we are the wrong way around. There we go. Do some tests here, and then we'll call it a day. We will actually finally wrap up. Okay, seed in, bang, flower, rotate. Okay, now it doesn't rotate, that's fine. Harvest it, look at that seed, go. Oh, it clipped through the floor. Not ideal. We'll probably also definitely want to make sure that on our... we disable a rotatable object on the flower that we plant as well. What am I doing? Potted flower dot get component rotatable object dot enabled equals true. And similarly, when we plant the flower, so it's false. I mean, actually, you know what? We don't have to do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. What I do want to make sure we do is say potted flower dot transform dot parent equals null, so that it's returned to the root. And then in our rotatable object script, I think what I actually want to do is do local Euler angles, Euler angles. Yeah. And that way, if we rotate the parent, it's fine. But we can also still have it so that you rotate the child. Perhaps I'll actually have to start fiddling with layers and things to get stuff working. But, you know, we'll get there. We'll get there. I am going to reduce the force with which the dirt expels new seeds. Because it's a little bit extreme. A little bit extreme. This ocean sounds are banging. Good ambience. I do like a good ambient soundscape in the background, to be fair. Okay, plonk. Good, that's still rotating fine. I can still rotate this fine. If I click, the seed once again has clipped through the floor. Let me just... Bro, please. There we go. Came back. I'm gonna have to... I think it's the mesh collider on the plane instead of a what's-a-majignet, you know, a box collider. Yay, we got our flower, and let's harvest. Yay! We did get 3 seeds out there. Whoops. Let's grab all of them. There we go. And we've got our little flower, which we can also rotate. Look at that. Oh, that's fantastic. And I think probably we'd also want to have it so that we can drop flowers back into pots. And they'll just, like, you can replant them. Because I think that way you can also maybe decorate things yourself. But this is awesome. I'm very happy with the progress that we've made here. Maybe we also make it so that the flowers have an interaction with water, so that, I don't know, keeps them healthy or something like that. Flowers could perhaps die if you don't water them. And that way having like irrigators makes perfect sense. But yeah, and we can, you know, obviously grab a seed, plant another flower in this pot. Give it a good watering up. If I actually drop the water into the thing. There it is. Bang, harvested. It did replant itself there. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's satisfying. That is satisfying. All right. So there we have it. That is where I'm going to leave it for today. Thank you, everybody, for coming and watching this stream. I feel like this was a good one. Lots of good activity in chat, which is always nice. I do love chatting with you guys while I work on stuff, especially when stuff is like going as nice as it has been for this stream today with this water droplet and getting all the flowers working. I'm very, very happy with the progress we've made. So yeah, thank you very much for stopping by. If you are not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and join the Discord server to get notified of when I do these streams again. I will be back tomorrow, similar sort of time, so stay tuned for that. If you would like to support me and the studio, you can sign up to the Patreon below, which will get you access to this game at the end of the week when the loop is complete and I publish it on there. Or you can follow the Buy Me a Coffee link that we've got over on the left hand side of the screen there to support for less. Yeah, thanks again, and I will see you tomorrow. Cheers.